Hey lovelies, it's G here with Golden Thread Tarot. I don't even know if I'm going to end up posting this, but I just want to have a chance where I feel like I just want to be very open. I want to be very honest. I preach to you guys that, um, when you feel like you need to talk about things, we need to open up to things. Oh, if you feel like your throat chakra is open, you need to step up. You need to be honest. You need to be open about how you're really feeling about things. And I really feel like I'm gonna practice what I preach right now. That I'm gonna be kind of open about some things that are just like really heavy on my mind, right? Um, there are so many ways in this recovery journey when you're recovering from a karmic, or when you're just trying to heal, when you're trying to go inside of yourself and just kind of rediscover yourself to rebuild up yourself after feeling like you've been cut in half or cut down, right? Especially if you were with a karmic like I was, that felt like he drained away all of my self-love and all of my self-acceptance, and really turned me into this person that I didn't recognize. And of course, I am 100% responsible for allowing that to happen. I am 100% responsible for sitting by and basically disassociating from myself and allowing myself to become this much different version of myself than I ever thought I would allow myself to be. I, when I was younger and I was in my, you know, girl group, my friendship group when I was younger, and I always thought I would tell myself, I'm that one that will not deal with a man that abuses me, right? It's funny to think of myself this way now because I'm just like, you had no idea what you're talking about. But I won't be with a guy who openly verbally abuses me and who makes me belittle myself. I see the warning signs. I was that friend that would see the warning signs in other people's boyfriends or in other people's partners. And I would be like, I see the warning signs. Like, you should pay attention to these red flags. Like, and I never really understood until I got into that type of relationship myself, right? Because it's subtle. It's subtle at first. The way that, some of these karmics really kind of slowly kind of brainwash you, or slowly kind of train you to become normalized to their behavior. It's really subtle. It's really slowly. It's gradual. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. It's very gradual. Over time, they train you to just have a little bit less self-respect and a little bit less self-respect, and let a little bit more slide and a little more slide and a little more slide, and it's this back and forth between, pushing the limits, then love bombing to get you back, then pushing the limits further back, then love bombing to pull you in, to pull you close. Then it's um, pushing you, and then also once they know that they have you in, or at least for my karmic in general, it was a lot of distancing, pushing me away, emotionally starving me for attention, for affection, making me feel like, oh, it was because, okay. Like, oh, well, you didn't shave your legs enough. Your legs are a little too hairy. And I would be like, you love me even if my legs are a little hairy, right? Or like, you still like me, or you still find, I would say things like, you still find me attractive. Like, don't you still find me attractive even if I, let my hair grow on my legs a little bit longer than maybe that you would like? Well, I didn't say that I didn't love you. Of course I still love you. And I'm like, that's not what I said. I asked if you still finding me attractive even if I had hair on my legs. Even if my legs were a little bit more hairy than you might prefer them. Because shit happens. Shit happens. Things happen like that, Um, and it was subtle things, right? Like, I would dress up and we would go out, and he would be like, "Oh, you're wearing that?" Never mind the fact that he's just wearing jeans and a t-shirt, right? I needed to way overdress in the circumstance. I needed to put makeup on. It was, you just see me every day and there's nothing. You know, when we first got together, it was, you're so beautiful, you're amazing, your body is so amazing, you're so amazing, I love you so much, oh my God, oh my God. And then that turned into, well, I just see you look like this every day. And then it turned into, only when I had on makeup or only when I did this stuff, oh, you look so beautiful. Okay, then I would start, you know, then it was, I still didn't put up makeup every day. Like you guys see, I don't wear makeup every day, right? I don't wear makeup every time. I do it when I feel like it. I do it when, you know, it serves me and I want to do it. And that turned into, you know, only complimenting me when I had on makeup, or only complimenting me when I had on makeup and my hair was done and I looked beautiful. Let alone the fact, never mind the fact that he didn't dress up, he didn't shave, he didn't do that stuff, you know. I get less affection if I, you know, if I don't 100% keep up on those things like that that he thought I should do, let alone the fact that he didn't do this. You know, if he didn't do those things, you know, I was still expected to have just as much respect and love and affection for him. I remember one time that really devastated me. It's like, I still think about like how bad it hurt. Um, we were going out on a date. We were having a date night, and I shaved the bottom half of my legs, right? But I have I I have thick hair, right? It's dark. You can see it, right? And so I cut time short because I prioritized getting dressed and like doing my makeup and stuff. And so I didn't also shave the top of my legs. I just shaved the bottom of my legs and my knees. And so I walk in the room. He's like, "Oh yeah, you look nice." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, babe." He's like, "Yeah, that's a really cute dress. I really like it on you." I'm like, "Thanks." Then we go out, and by this point, our relationship's getting quite rocky, right? And we go out, and we're sitting down in the car, and sometimes it's the small things that you notice when you start getting emotionally starved, which is, it's not just the compliments. It's like the little body touches. It's like holding your hand. It's, you know, just giving you a little kiss on the cheek. Um, he, you know how like when couples sit beside each other, the man or like the woman, either way, you'll put your hands on the other person's leg, right? And he hadn't done that in so long, and we were just sitting there. I was like, we haven't had an argument today, like we're going out, we both look really nice, you know, this is so beautiful, I'm having such a good time. um and then he kind of, you know, pushed my dress up a little bit further on my leg and felt the hair, the stubble that was on the top of my leg. And I happened to be looking at him, like he felt it, and literally, you guys, he literally was like, and I was like, is that deep for you that I have some stubble? You know, you won't even look at me now? You completely reject me now? You know, and I called him out. That was when when I was just like, you don't find me attractive if I happen to have some stubble on my leg? Well, I didn't say that I didn't love you. I didn't ask you if you didn't love me. You know, my love for you does not diminish if you don't shave and keep up your beard. I might think, he needs to shave his beard, but I'm just going to go on about my day, right? I'm not going to not kiss him or not love him or not look at him and be like, oh, I love you, if those things aren't done. And yes, some of you could say, well, that's just a preference. Like some people are really big about, you know, stuff like that. You got to keep up on that. And okay, yeah, that's fair, you know. But for him, it was a form of emotional manipulation. For him, it was, you know, the part of finding little small things about me to make it the reason that he was starving me for attention or starving me for affection. And it takes a long time to, or at least it did for me, to realize these things, to put them into context, to start healing from these things, and to start letting yourself unlearn all of these things, all of this hate that it builds up for yourself. I realized after we broke up, of course, I was going through a slight depression, so I wasn't, and it was winter time too, or it was like coming into winter time. It was like the end of summer when we broke up, and it was like coming into fall and winter time. So I don't shave as much during the winter time. It just is what it is. Most people, most women that I know don't. Um, and or don't shave as much, I should say. Um, and I realized I was sitting there looking at myself, and I was like, you really need to shave. It's so ugly. It's so gross. Like, you didn't. And I literally had to come to a moment where I was like, pause. I was like, it is ridiculous that you're talking to yourself like this because there's hair on your legs. Like, hair naturally grows from your legs, right? It's our modern day society that tells us that women are supposed to be completely hairless besides on their head, right? Because obviously we all naturally grow hair on our bodies. It serves a purpose, and yeah, we get into that, blah blah blah, whatever. And if you have a preference and you prefer smooth legs, I know plenty of women that do, that keep their legs shaved because that's the way they like it, or anything. I have never been a person that was like super crazy about like keeping my legs perfectly shaved like all the time. Like, it's never been a huge thing for me. I'm like, oh, if my legs are hairy, they just are. Like, I'll shave them when it gets to a point. But like, or a lot of times in the past when I like am in a relationship, I normally keep my legs shaved. But I had to have a moment with myself where I was just like, it's just hair. But this is like learned hate, self-hate, because of the fact that if you didn't shave your legs, if you weren't having silky smooth baby soft skin all the time, he didn't want to give you attention. He didn't want to give you affection. And I, at that time, was so dependent and so desperate for affection from him that I just internalized that. I internalized that hatred of, well, this is the reason why he doesn't like you, or he won't touch you, or when it really wasn't that, because I could shave everything and be perfectly smooth, not a hair on my body, and he still wouldn't touch me if he didn't want to. So towards the end, he was just like, nah, whatever, So I challenged myself. God, this was so intense, you guys, when I did this. I challenged myself. I said, until you can look at yourself with hairy legs and think you look just as beautiful, right? There's a difference between saying, oh, I prefer the feeling of it, or I don't like the feel of stubble. There's a difference there in thinking you're ugly if you have hair on your legs. I didn't think that about other people, just about myself. You are not shaving your legs until you can look at yourself that way and love yourself just the same. Because fuck that. You've never felt like this in your life. And you're not even in a relationship with him anymore. And it's sick. Like, why do you, like, you're not allowed to feel this way about yourself. And you guys, it took me almost 8 months not to feel that way. 8 months. I was surprised by how long it took. Don't give yourself a time limit, right? Yes, be committed. Yes, challenge yourself. Challenge old mindsets about yourself. Even before that, because it really made me realize that before that, I kind of had a very tiny, slight version of that where I felt like, oh, it's okay if I have shaved legs, but I would never like go outside with my legs hairy because no, that's just too much. Even there, right? And some of you might be like, oh, that's gross. Like, I don't shave my legs, blah, blah, whatever. 1555 down on the clock. I challenged myself to do that. I challenged myself to love the hell out of myself, regardless of what somebody else might look at me and have a preference for. And I remember the day, or I ended up going to the beach this summer, and that's when I ended up shaving. And I I remember I decided that, yeah, that I would allow myself to do it because I was so excited about this trip. I was trying on like bathing suits and doing stuff, and I was just like dancing around to music, looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, you're so cute, you're so sexy, like I love this, I love this. I was looking at my legs and I was like rubbing up and down them, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And then I realized, like, I didn't cringe. I didn't say, oh, but you need to shave. Oh, but you can't go out like this. I just was loving the shit out of myself, regardless. And that's when I was like, okay, you can shave. And I understand that to some people, shaving your leg, not shaving your leg, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that dramatic. But it was something so much deeper than that. It was this symbolic challenge that I gave to myself of saying that, you need to heal. And sometimes when it's our time to heal, things are so much deeper than we realize. Sometimes those little ways that people teach us to dim ourselves or to devalue ourselves can just touch even the smallest, most seemingly insignificant things in our lives. And it's important not to beat yourself up over it. It's important not to shame yourself even further or get stuck in any kind of guilt cycle over it. But it is important to recognize those things and to push ourselves beyond those things. Which is why I'm making this video now, because there are plenty of things that I could have talked about, but it's what came into my mind. Um, it's something that I just wanted to share about my journey. I don't know if that story will help anybody um, or anything else, but I just felt like it was time to challenge myself to show you guys something personal about my own journey, something deeper, and be more honest with you guys about some of the things that I've really gone through, some of the things that I've really dealt with, and to make you guys understand that it's so important to notice these things, to challenge yourself, to push yourself beyond your limitations, to try new things, to get out there, to challenge your fears about things. I never would have thought that I would have been so scared to not shave my legs. But I was so proud of myself for doing it. And I know it's, like a little thing, but for me, it was a lot. For me, it was a symbol of me saying that I wasn't going to let that fear persist in me. That I wasn't going to let just the overall energy of being in that relationship persist in me. That I was going to push myself, and even now, pushing myself to share things. And I know that's not incredibly, terribly intimate, but I felt that it would be something that would I don't know. So many things. There are so many layers of challenges that come up when you're healing yourself from relationships that really hit you really deep, from pains that it takes time to heal from. And I realized there was a lot of things about not just my last relationship, but relationships in general, how I viewed myself. It was scary to sit there under a magnifying glass and to really do some of my shadow work and really ask myself and be honest with myself about, like I've said it before on this channel, I've been the fool before, I've been that karmic before, I've been that person that was acting like not shit, I've been that person before. I have. And it's hard to be that honest with yourself about how you really feel about things, but it's important to really face those things about yourself, to really dive in to facing your shadow when you're called to really understand that most of the time underneath the anger or the pettiness or the promiscuous mindset or the I don't give a fuck is fear and pain. Is somebody who's scared to be hurt again, or who's scared to look at how disappointed they are at themselves at points in their life. But to say that you deserve love anyway. I heard a quote today that just really hit me really deep. And it was, I forgive myself for seeing someone's lack of reciprocation as a challenge to prove my own worth. I'm paraphrasing, that's not the exact quote. But that just hit me. Well, that's part of the quote. It just hit me so much. Because I was just like, yeah. So much of the time, the root of our codependency is a fear of true intimacy, a fear of really turning that mirror around and really gazing into ourselves, piercing into our own soul and really seeing what's there and accepting it and challenging it and loving it, because so much of the time we're so scared to look at ourselves that we become codependent on staring into somebody else or fixing somebody else when we really know that it's ourselves we need to heal. We chase after emotionally unavailable people, or we are that runner that pushes people that actually want to know us away while holding close people who mirror back that hurt or injured part of ourselves. And it's never easy to do that, you guys. And it's never just do it once, or just write one letter and burn it, or do one simple meditation, or listen to these hertz beats to release all your subconscious fear, doubt, and hate. It's never just one time. It's never just one thing. It's layers of peeling back parts of ourselves, of exposing different parts of ourselves to ourselves. So many people find it really easy to expose different parts of themselves to other people while keeping on a blindfold or turning a blind eye to those parts of ourselves, you know, and looking at them and analyzing them and asking ourselves why. Why do you do this? Why do you feel this way? Really facing the underlying trauma that caused this, and then asking ourselves, why is it easier to run away? Why is it easier to pretend? Why is it easier to hold on to this pain than it is to just face it and let go of it? Why am I so scared? What do I think is going to happen on the other side of this? Oh, if I heal, that means I actually have to be ready for actual, real, open, raw vulnerability. On the other side of this healing, there comes a time where it will be tested, where I will actually have to be that person that I say I truly want to heal and become. And that is so fucking terrifying. Because what if I can't become that person? What if I'm not that person? What if I don't like who I truly am on the inside? What if I can't keep up with it? What if I try again and again and again to heal and I still fall into my old ways? What if I let myself down again? What if I revealed that deepest, most parts of myself to somebody and they reject me? Even more so, what if they accept me? And then I lose them, or it ends up changing, or things change, and because people change and people evolve, and sometimes you fall out of love with people, and then what happens then? What happens if I am left back here and I've done everything right and I am open and I am vulnerable and that person's vulnerable, and then we make it work for a time and then it doesn't? What if I do everything right and I still fail? What then? And it's easy to sit here and tell you to stay high vibrational and stay happy all the time. But the truth is that you can't be super high vibrational and happy all the time. Sometimes you have to really look at those parts of yourself and you have to allow yourself to feel the emotions that you did. And today, I just felt like being honest. Today, I felt like I should just be open about how I feel, about how I know there's still a lot of things inside of me that need to heal, that sometimes I don't take my own advice, that sometimes I have that imposter syndrome where I'm like, where do I where do I fall, or where do I get off telling other people to heal or do things when I know there are things about myself that I run away from myself? When I know sometimes I'll go back and watch my videos and I'm like, this is good advice. You should freaking take it. You should take it for yourself. Not always, but sometimes it's really there and I feel it. That's really kind of why I really slowed down my videos, my uploads for a little while there. I kind of was being a little lackluster. I was taking a lot of time to really look inside of myself and to ask myself if I'm being burned out, or if, how do I really feel about my own personal journey. Taking a break from talking to you guys as much, only making like single videos. Hold on just 1 second. I'm sorry, you guys. Dealing with interruptions from my animals and things, and feeling unprofessional. But I just wanted to get on here and be a little more intimate with you guys about some of the things that I've just been thinking about. I hope that this actually made sense, that it wasn't too kind of all over the place. I didn't exactly like super plan this out with bullet points or anything. I just wanted to sit down and really just naturally get off what was weighing on my chest, what I really wanted to open up and be honest with you guys about, what I really wanted to talk about, some of my own personal struggles, because I mean, I'm sure you guys know that I'm just a regular person too, and I struggle with a lot of the same things that I talk to you guys about in the readings. Like, that's why you're part of my collective, because I resonate so much with a lot of you guys' struggles, or a lot of the things that I talk about in readings. Not all of them. Not all of them are going to be my reading, or going to be my circumstances, right? But I resonate with a lot, or at least parts or sentences, even if it's just a sentence here or two of, how I feel. So much of you probably don't even realize how much the feelings that I talk about and the things, how much it resonates for me personally as well, not just for you guys. And sometimes you guys get on here and ask me questions and I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I'm just here trying to figure this shit out too, you know? Just because I'm on here and I'm a tarot reader, or I'm a clairvoyant and I'm in touch, doesn't mean that I know everything. It doesn't mean that spirit shares everything or the answers to everything to me and I can just go and just know the answers to everything. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Cause I know that I've said that in readings before, that some of you, and I'm just like, you need to do this, you need to do that. How do you do that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to freaking figure it out. If you figure it out, let me know. Cause I'm still having to learn my own lessons and learn how to get by and, learn from my own karma and tap into my own self and become less scared of resonating truly deeply with myself. Because so much of my life, I pushed away my gifts, or I pushed away my abilities, or I listened to other people, tell me, no, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, and I spent a lot of time silencing myself and dimming my own light, and not to be like, oh, but it took a lot of strength for me to get on here and start making videos and be honest with you guys. And because, it amazes me still, every single person that comments and tells me that, the stuff that I'm saying actually resonates with you guys, the messages that I'm getting are coming through clear, because I've struggled my whole life with speaking and communicating and connecting with people. And for you guys to really like just connect with what I'm saying and listen to me from the heart, and to really, it means so much to me. I love you guys so much. And this journey has been amazing and confusing and terrifying and a lot. And there are so many things on this journey that I am being guided to do that I still struggle with doing. So I don't ever want you guys to feel like you're alone. Like, if you're just ask yourself, well, why can't I just do it? I feel that way sometimes too. I feel just like, why can't I just allow myself to heal? Why can't I just let some of these things go? Why am I so scared to allow some of these things to heal? It took me a long time to not look at myself as jaded or broken or just so many other things, um, to just see myself as a person who's just trying to make it and trying to do the best that I can. And sometimes I fail, and sometimes I don't do as well as I would have hoped, or I don't meet my own expectations. Um, Sometimes I feel like I don't meet you guys' expectations because I know I set the bar very high for myself in my own mind, and then I am very mad at myself when I don't reach my full potential sometimes. But I also have to tell myself, you're just human. You can only do much. You can only, you know, expel so much energy. You still have to save energy for yourself and for your own journey and for your own lessons that you're learning as well. So I'm just sharing all this with you guys to let you know that you're not the only one out there struggling. You're not the only one out there that's scared sometimes. You're not the only one out there who struggles with truly facing yourself, facing your past, really truly allowing yourself to heal. you know, you're not the only one if you feel like you resonate with that. Like, if you feel like you high vibe all the time and you're a perfect empress and, you're a high priestess and you don't ever struggle, that's great. I'm really happy for you. You're a lot more developed than me. Good on you. Drop some hints to the rest of us who are still being regular people in the comments, right? Um, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for just being here and kind of just listening to me talk. I know I've done videos like this before where I've talked about twin flame journeys and things. Thank you for everyone who supports those videos of mine too. Thank you guys for kind of allowing me to kind of open up and just talk about these things. I don't know how many of you are going to resonate with this, but let me know down in the comment section down below. Let me know if me kind of just getting on here and just talking to you guys and giving general life updates is something you'd be interested in, or if you're just like, nah, keep just pulling the cards, we don't care. I know, it's my channel. And so I'm stepping also into my own power of just being like, if you feel like making a video, put it out there, and who watches it, and who doesn't, you don't resonate with it, that's going to have to be okay too, right? So I hope that you guys are feeling blessed and abundant. And even if you're not, that's okay too. Even if you're feeling like you're having a rough day, or you're having a rough time, or you're having a rough week, or a rough month, 44 down on my clock. Okay, down on it's 44 degrees outside. My angels show me 44 when they're letting me know, like, hey, we're here for you and we got you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it touched you. I hope it makes you feel, at least for some people, even if there's one person out there that watches this and it's just like, yeah, I don't feel as alone, that's good enough for me. And at the very least, I feel I feel it feels nice to kind of address some of those things that I've been feeling inside of myself. It feels nice to kind of be like, I don't have all the answers. I'm a hot mess sometimes. My life isn't all together or anything like that, which I don't think you guys think that I'm like perfect and that my life is completely all together. But to also understand that sometimes I don't answer your comments because I don't freaking know, man. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I'm still trying to figure that shit out myself, you know? And a lot of times the answer is tune into yourself. I can only be a guide to so much, but my end goal is always to tell you guys to tune into yourself. You know, pay attention to what you're eating, pay attention to how much water you're drinking, pay attention to who's around you, pay attention to your environment, pay attention to your work, pay attention to what thoughts you allow to exist inside of your mind, and cut out all the things that you know aren't good enough for you, and do as best as you can. And if you can't do it all at once, that's fine. You're a freaking human, and realize that you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to have it all together all the time. You're not going to know what to do all the time, okay? So just do the best that you can and love the shit out of yourself, even if you fail, even if you don't know what to do, even if you struggle and it's been months and you're still trying to let go of something, or you're still trying to work with something, or you're still trying to work something out, and to understand that you fucking deserve to be loved by your mate, by your friends, by your family, at no matter what stage of healing you're in, okay? You deserve love right now. Not when you're healed, not a year from now, not when you get out of a karmic relationship and you're in this perfect, harmonious soulmate relationship. You deserve to be loved right now. And at the very fucking least, you deserve to love yourself every day, on your best day, on your worst day, on the days that you don't, the days that you feel fat, the days that you feel too skinny, the days that you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, wish my ass was like blah, blah, blah. And it's not, that's fine. Love yourself anyway. Okay? Oh my gosh, you guys. But seriously, I love you guys so much. And I really hope that this helps somebody out there. At the very least, I hope it helped you laugh a little bit, or it helped you realize that you can be true to yourself. You can speak your truth, even if your truth is, I'm a hot goddamn mess. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. That's okay too. You're still fucking rocking awesome, even if that's the way that you feel. Because you won't always feel this way. You won't always feel this way. Every day won't be this way. Keep that in your mind, and you hold that in your heart, and you know that. Know that you deserve love right now. That you deserve acceptance right now. And that you deserve to give that to yourself, and that you deserve that from the other people that are around you in your life. And hold that in your heart and in your mind every fucking day. No matter what you look like, no matter how you feel. And every day you will come to accept that a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then a lot more, and a lot more, and a lot more. And that will be what the fuck it is. Manifest that into your reality for yourself. Manifestation is just about tricking your own mind into being like, yep, that's the way that it is. And just somehow that's the way that it is. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope this helps you guys. Thank you so much for the love, for the donations, for anybody who is just here, just kicking it with me. I really love you guys. Thank you so, so, so very much. Okay? And at the very least, know that you love yourself and that I love you just the way that you are. Okay? Don't ever think that I'm on here preaching about you needing to heal, or you needing to do this and needing to do that and walk away from this person and do that. I still love you now. I know I don't know you, but I still love you now. Still love yourself now. And whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship, your life, I hope that your life is filled with as much love and abundance and happiness as possible. Whether or not you really feel that way or not, I hope that it is still. And I hope that you are blessed enough to see that in your life, no matter what stage of the journey that you're in. Thank you so much for being here. Think about subscribing to the channel if you like the content. Like or share this video with somebody you feel like it might lift their spirits or give them a little something just to kind of groove with. And thank you so much if you're already subscribed. Either way, I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for letting me get this off my chest. And I will catch you lovelies in the next one. Bye.